30 to 45 seconds. Imagine this. It's 1:59 a.m. You've got a big project due in the morning. You knew you had weeks to do it. You even imagined how great it would feel to finish early, to be relaxed, to be ready. But here you are, wired on caffeine, typing like you're running a marathon with your fingers, and whispering to yourself, "Why do I always do this?" Here's the twist. This isn't because you're lazy or because you don't care. In fact, research suggests something surprising. Intelligent, creative, capable people may be more likely to procrastinate. So what's going on? Why do some of the smartest people delay the most important things till the very last minute? Today, we're not just talking about procrastination, but why your brain, especially a smart one, might be wired to do it, and how understanding that can help you break the cycle. Welcome to MindShift, the channel where we explore the psychology behind our thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Today, why smart people procrastinate, what's really going on in their minds, and how understanding it can help unlock better habits and maybe a little more peace. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Procrastination isn't about time management. Yeah, you heard that right. It's not about laziness either. It's a biological, emotional response to something deeper. Psychologists call procrastination an emotion regulation problem. That means you're not putting something off because you don't have time, you're putting it off because it makes you feel bad. That book report, that job application, that email you've been staring at for days isn't really a task, it's a threat. A threat to your competence, your identity, your peace. So your brain does something clever. It helps you avoid it. Think of it like this. Your brain is doing emotional feng shui, moving uncomfortable feelings to the corner so you don't have to see them. Except, unlike rearranging furniture, the mess doesn't go away. It grows. And here's where smart people get involved. If you're intelligent, chances are you have a great imagination. You can see all the possible outcomes of a task, including the worst-case ones. That means your brain is flooded with, "What if I mess up?" Or, "What if I'm not good enough?" Or, "What if this isn't perfect?" More intelligence, more possibilities, more anxiety. It's like having a supercomputer in your brain that's really good at simulating your future failures. Not fun. Now, here's a fun psychological fact you didn't ask for but definitely need. Studies show that procrastinators aren't necessarily bad performers. They're often high achievers with high standards, and they use procrastination as a way to protect their self-esteem. Listen to this inner monologue and tell me if it sounds familiar. If I start this a few hours before it's due, and it comes out bad, well, it's not because I'm bad. It's because I did it last minute. That's right. Procrastination can be a shield for self-worth. In psychology, this is known as self-handicapping. Make the obstacle, lack of time, the blame, not your ability. And, ironically, this tactic gives you the illusion of control until it crushes you under stress. Oops. Now, let's take a quick detour through history. Did you know that in ancient Rome, procrastination wasn't just a thing, it was celebrated? They even had a Latin word for it, crastinus, meaning belonging to tomorrow. One Roman politician, Cicero, was famous for saying that slowness of decision is wisdom, which probably sounded profound back then, until you realize the man also died in a political crisis. So you could say, waiting around didn't exactly pay off for him. Meanwhile, one of the funniest historical facts about procrastination comes from the 18th century, when a London doctor named Samuel Johnson used to procrastinate writing so much that he invented excuses about being sick. But then, when his friends checked on him, he turned out to be just sleeping. His medical records say, patient suffers from an acute case of "I'll do it later"-itis. That's probably not true, but it should have been. Let's come back to the present, because the psychology of procrastination gets even more interesting. See, smart people often crave stimulation. The adrenaline of doing things last minute can become addictive. You might not think of yourself as a thrill seeker, but that heart-racing, deadline-driven surge of energy is your brain's version of a roller coaster. Doing things early? Boring. Doing it right before the clock runs out? Exhilarating. And here's the kicker. Your brain rewards this behavior. When you pull it off, even just barely, you get this internal high five from your brain's dopamine system. You made it. Mission accomplished. Let's do it again sometime. It's a cycle that feels productive until it burns you out.
But here's a perspective shift. Procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's a coping mechanism. It's your mind saying, "This is scary," or "This is overwhelming," or "I'm not sure I can handle this." And the more intelligent or creative you are, the more intense those thoughts can become. It's not weakness. It's wiring. So what do you do about it? One strategy from behavioral psychology is called temporal reframing. It simply means reminding yourself, the future version of me is still me. Procrastinators often think of their future self as a different person, someone who'll be braver, smarter, more motivated. But they aren't. They're still wearing your pajamas and eating your snacks. Another tool? Break the task down. Not into smaller tasks, but into smaller emotions. Ask yourself, what part of this is making me anxious? Or which step feels scary? Most of the time, it's not the task itself, it's the feeling around it. And here's a second fun fact. Research shows that just getting started, even for 2 minutes, can drastically reduce the emotional weight of a task. It's called the Zeigarnik effect, named after psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik, who noticed that waiters remembered open orders better than completed ones. Our brains mentally itch when something's unfinished, compelling us to return to it. So starting, even messily, can be the emotional lever you need. Now, here's something you might not expect. Self-forgiveness is a powerful antidote to procrastination. In a study of students, those who forgave themselves for procrastinating on their first exam procrastinated less on the second one. Why? Because guilt is heavy. Forgiveness, it frees up mental energy to focus. So next time you're in that 1:59 a.m. panic, remember, the goal isn't to become a perfect planner. It's to understand what you're feeling and practice giving yourself permission to be human. Conclusion, 30 seconds. So if you're a smart person who procrastinates, maybe the real question isn't how do I stop procrastinating, but what am I afraid of? Or what story am I telling myself about this task? Because behind every delay is a part of you trying to protect yourself. Procrastination is not failure, it's a message. And when you listen, when you understand, it loses its power. Tiny courage in the present rewires your future. Thanks for watching MindShift.